Oh, what an adventure! Get lost with Google Maps. Okay, good morning everybody. I'm going to show you how easy this McHitch is to unhook, and then I want to show you how I prepped it, and the sort of lubricant you use, because it's a dry lube that you use, because you don't want to be using wet lubes like greases and stuff like that on a tow hitch. 90% of the tow hitches on the market do use wet lubes, and that's fine while the seals are good and working, but you get in amongst the bull dust and sand, and it just eats all the galvanizing and everything off the tow hitches. So what we do first of all is we undo the lock. I've got to get it in right. Have I got the right key? There we go. Simple matter of undoing the lock like that. Then I pull that pin, undo that pin, lift the hitch up like that, apply the handbrake, and what I'm going to do now, my wife's going to keep on filming, I'm just going to ease the car off the hitch. Where did I put the keys? There. You allow if anything goes wrong, Dom?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, so that's how easy it is to unhook these. I probably should have wound the jockey wheel up a bit, but that's fine. Now I'll go get the can of lube and show you how we prepped it and what lube we used. We used a recommended lube, but yeah, I'll go get it. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so to prep this, what we did was we got some methylated spirit and we cleaned all this section here around this little knobby bit, give it a good clean. We went inside the receiver, cleaned her out with a rag, and you can see how thick this steel is here. And how thick this handle is. Alright, I did have one comment where he said it's been overbuilt. No, it hasn't been over engineered at all for the job. It's remember, this is an extreme off-road hitch, and it's also meant for easy hook up and unhook. You just wind the jockey wheel up to the right height and hook it up. As you can see, see the way that's pointing up in the air? He looks excited, doesn't he? But he's not. That's because I had it at the too low when I unhooked. I should have actually wound the jockey wheel up a little bit, but it doesn't matter, it didn't damage anything. Alright, so after you've cleaned all this off, even in the hole here we got a rag and cleaned all any oil that was left on this after manufacture, even on the receiver here on the skid plate. You saw in the last video I was slightly off center, but it just skidded straight in. And then you get this stuff here, okay? Now this is dry glide. It's quite expensive again, but it's got PTFE in it. You can get other products, cheap ones, but they do not have PTFE in it. And you can hear it's got a ball in the can. You shake it and shake it and shake it. It's like, you know, you would if you were doing a can paint, okay? And then you spray liberally all the in the holes, all the bits that slide in there. And when you've got it all lubed up really nice and it's dry, you let it dry and set, then you'll find that this just slides straight in that hole there, no problem at all, just goes straight in. Alright, now one of my mates said to me on when I was chatting to him on Skype, he said, what do you do when it gets old and it starts to droop? And you know, most old things start to droop. Well, let me put it back up again. You can see there's a bit of rubber in there, and you can see there's a bit of rubber in there, and that fits a standard socket ratchet, okay? And so it's got like 2 nuts there. So when it starts to droop, okay, and it's not standing up anymore, of course you can't really hook it up like that, and you can't get anyone to hold it because it's too dangerous then. But you simply pull those bits of rubber out of those 2 nuts and you tighten its nuts, okay? So it's back like that again. Alright, so when it starts to droop with old age, tighten its nuts up and it'll be back like that. Simple as that. As you can see, I've put all brand new handbrake cable. It's quite loose. Well, it's tight at the moment because the handbrake's on, because the trailer's unhooked, but when it's, I've got a bit of play there. I don't think it's over-engineered. Alright, I think the guy that designed it in Queensland is an ex-farmer, and I'm an ex-farmer, and if I was going to design it, I probably would have designed it exactly the same way, with the exact thickness of steel, because him, like many other farmers, have had tow hitches broke when you know, towing them, and due to the height of 4-wheel drive trailers and the height of the hitch, it's actually against the law to have a tow ball that's any higher than, to the top of the tow ball, 50 centimeters, okay? That's from the ground height to the tow ball height, because if you go to use standard trailers, the angle of the trailer, and especially as you're towing it over bumps and stuff, puts a lot of stress on the tow ball and the tow hitch, and it's very common to see tow balls break like that. They just snap straight off. Are our regulations too harsh in Australia? No, they're not. I don't think they're too harsh at all. I think I would rather buy something I know that's been designed to last many years in extreme off-road conditions and is so easy to use like this. You know, I would rather pay that extra money and have something I know is going to see me out. It's as simple as that. What else? That's about it. I mean, we've finished now. The trailer's done. We've replaced all the suspension. We've replaced that terrible jockey wheel that was on here. and we've replaced that polyblock hitch. Polyblock hitches were nice when they came out many years ago, but they were a pain in the butt to hook up on unlevel ground, and they were the cause of many heated words for my wife and I, because it was just so frustrating. So frustrating. But anyway, this takes all the frustration out of it. Would that hook up at that angle? Nah, probably it might, but I would lift it a bit. I would just lift this up. The catcher would catch it and tilt it up, but I would lift it. Just simply wind the jockey wheel up. Alright. I think that's covered all the bits I missed in the last video. Again, no, I don't think it's over-engineered. It's engineered to do a very hard job, and let's face it, if you're going way out in the bush or the high country, you don't want your toe hitch broken. That's, you know, a toe ball snapping off. I was talking to Neil, my mate. He's just left on holidays just the other day, and last time he was out on the beach, there was a bloke towing a big boat there with his four-wheel drive, and the toe ball just snapped straight off it. And Neil's had a toe ball on the front of his bumper bar, on his bull bar, for just driving trailers, because it's easy to put a boat trailer into the water if you go in front ways. And he took that off and gave it to the bloke and got him out of trouble. Now, Neil wasn't on that isolated beach at the time because he's a mad fisherman. That bloke would have had to abandon his boat, drive hundreds of kilometres to find a new tow ball, and hope his boat was still there when he got back. You don't have the problems with a hitch like this. Alright, that's it. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. He's got videos where he is extreme testing these with caravans. He goes through Gunshot Creek or Shotgun Creek or whatever it's called up there. I've never done that track in Queensland up to the top end. It looks awesome. I'd love to do it, but Queensland's, yeah, it's a long way away for me. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed that. That's the lube you have to use with the PTFE in it if you get one of these hitches. We've well and truly lubed it, and it's actually really slippery. When it stops being slippery, then I'll lube it again, you know. Okay, keep safe everyone. Bye for now.